Welcome back to Live with Lee and Haley. If you love bourbon and know a thing or two about it, here's your chance to compete with others from around the world this weekend right here in Lexington.
It's the 2019 Big Blind Bourbon Taste-Off presented by Whiskey Bear and Kentucky for Kentucky. We're going to test out our bourbon knowledge today, but unlike contestants, we're going to be blindfolded just because we want to. Daniel Marlowe is here to explain how this works. I nearly called you Danielle, and I have no idea
why.
Wouldn't
be the first time.
Yeah,
okay.
he's very effeminate. You can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are things at Whiskey Bear out at the summit?
Exciting. We're really looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yes.
So, tell us kind of what this whole event is about.
Sure. Well, Whit Heiler from Kentucky for Kentucky kind of came up with the idea and approached us and said, hey, what if we put together an event that was a bourbon tasting competition?
Okay.
And we said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. We've never seen anything like that before. And rather than kind of testing to see what is the best bourbon, we're testing the people to see who can pull out the different flavors in the bourbon. So, you know, a lot of people who are professionals do this all the time. People who just drink at home, they do it. They just don't realize that they're putting words to it. And so we wanted to let everybody feel like they have a chance to see where their palate is and if they can take home the grand prize.
So that's what the taste is. Yeah, you're seeing how much you really can taste those little notes and flavor.
Right.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, but they're not going to be blindfolded like
No, not going to be blindfolded, and it is multiple choice. So there are quite a few options to choose from. For you guys, since we're kind of short on time today, we're going to blindfold you. A lot of people close their eyes when they taste whiskey anyway. It kind of helps you just really focus on your palate.
Yeah.
And to make it a little more fun, we're going to blindfold you. I'm going to give you 4 options. Only one is correct. That is in the flavor profile of this particular bourbon.
So we can't wait.
Oh, it's exciting. Absolutely.
Right,
So, okay, so blindfolds on. I'll put the glass in front of each of you.
Okay, thank you.
Put your hand down. So first rule on bourbon tasting is your first sip. Kind of, they call it the Kentucky chew. You can kind of chew it around in your mouth for a second and then swallow it, but you don't want to judge on your first sip. You're just letting your palate get used to the flavors. The alcohol is always going to be a little strong right up the front. Go ahead and taste it. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and taste it, and then just take a few big breaths after that, and then your second and third sip.
Yeah, it takes you a while to get there.
Especially blindfolded, yes. Whiskey tasting glasses, indeed. So now, once you've got that first sip going, take a couple breaths, let your palate clear.
Through my mouth or nose?
Now this time, both. Go ahead and take a sip. Now you're going to judge one of these 4. So you've got cotton candy, hay, coconut, or anise, like star anise. So one of those is in this bourbon.
What is that last thing he said?
It's not what you think it is.
Okay, thank God.
Some people say anise.
I really hope it's not that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
This is that Bean Boozled challenge that we did.
I went cotton candy, hay,
coconut, or anise.
Boy, I don't like it. I don't like any of those choices, to be perfectly honest with you.
I didn't want to make it too easy on you all because every bourbon has, you know, the caramel and the oak and the vanilla. We wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, but we have a lot of other easier choices in there.
There is some sweet notes in here, you know, if you think about it.
I want to say hay.
All right, I'll say hay too.
Okay. All right, you were not correct. Anise, which is a very common flavor in a lot of bourbons, was the actual right answer.
If I'd known we were going to be tasting anise today, I would have.
Oh, Lord.
No, that particular bourbon is Buffalo Trace. We want everyone to have a chance to recognize where their palate is, because every palate is different. So people will have a chance to look at a reference to figure out what their palate is tasting that day.
All right.
So,
do we have
and
another
then
test, or what are we doing here?
Now that is the test. Now you won't win the $2,000 grand prize today,
didn't
unfortunately. I'm so sorry.
So there is a $2,000 grand prize?
There is a $2,000 cash grand prize, as well as bragging rights to the best palate in the bluegrass. So that's a really big one. But as just a consolation prize for you all, we do have a couple of things from both from Whiskey Bear and from Kentucky for Kentucky, some theme socks, and so you don't get the big cash prize, but you can at least
better than turtle wax.
Rep some good Kentucky gear.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
2019 Big Blind Bourbon Taste-Off, Saturday, January 19th at the barn over there at Summit Fritz Farm in Lexington. Check out bourbontasteoff.com for tickets. See our friends over at the Whiskey Bear. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
And congrats on this. This is an awesome
event. We're really
event.
excited. Thank you so much.
Pen of the day coming up next.
Cheers.